Do you remember what your goals were at the start of this program?
It's a good question. I believe my goals were to gain a better lifestyle, not just physically, but mentally and with my eating habits of not just trying to do something, a quick fix, but something that's going to change my life for a sustained period of time. I believe that was it.
It was. It
All right.
was almost spot on. I went back and watched your first interview, and I wrote everything down. So the other thing was you wanted to lose a little bit of weight, and you said that you were pre-diabetic, and you wanted to get your sugar numbers down.
Yes.
So how has this? How has any of those things improved, or have any of those things improved? I guess I should say.
I'm not one to weigh myself on a regular basis, but I do know that I did weigh myself probably about a month ago, and I was down probably about 10 pounds a month ago. So I know I've probably lost more since then. I've been battling my weight and lifestyle issues for years now. So, some people want to burn and shred weight right away, but for me, that's not a healthy thing. So I prefer to burn it in a slow, gradual progression. So that's a more natural feel. So losing 10 to 15 pounds in 3 months is, I think, a good pace because you're at about 5 pounds a month, which is a good average. So I want to keep somewhere around there to lose, at a gradual pace to where not only am I shredding weight, but I'm also building muscle and toning and shaping my body better. So on that aspect, I'm doing good. My eating's been much better. I'm resisting a lot of the temptations of sugary snacks and sugary drinks. I do cave in sometimes to have a soda here and there, but thanks to our talks, I've found healthier alternatives and healthier sweet alternatives. Instead of getting like a candy bar or like donuts or something, I could eat some fruit or some watermelon or some cherries or something that'll help give me that sweet craving, but it's a more natural sugar. So that's also helped lower my blood sugar as well. So, which my doctor appreciates. So,
Oh yeah. Do you know what it's down to?
when they checked my blood sugar at my last appointment, I believe it was at 5.9, which is good. So,
What was it before you started?
before I started, it was 6.3. So it's down. They say anything below 7 for me is great. It keeps me out of that diabeticness and keeps me at a pre-diabetic, non-diabetic state, which is where I want to be. So,
Yep.
and it can only get better from there. The more I adhere to eating better and cutting out those carbs and cutting out those unneeded starches and sugars and processed sugars, it's just going to drop and drop and drop, and I'll lose a lot of the issues that I do deal with. So,
Yep. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
oh yeah, hey, they don't tell you that stuff in the world. They want to fill you full of other things and keep you focused on quick fixes. But
That's marketing.
oh yeah, it's good marketing.
That it is. Uh, what do you think was the hardest part about the 3 months?
uh, I would probably say just the commitment of being 4 days a week, I guess. At the time slot it was, but other than that, I mean, it felt good to start your day working out, getting that good workout in because it sets you up for a more productive day and a better day energy wise. So, and the workouts were engaging and challenging and they pushed your limits, but you had people around you that were also being pushed and also encouraging each other. The coaches were good about explaining and showing the proper ways to do it and showing tips on how to do it better. So it was less strainful on certain parts of your body, whether it was your shoulders or your back or your knees, depending on what it was, they would show you different, methods you can use to help alleviate that pain, or if you're having pain in your knee, you might be overextending on your lunges and stuff like that. So, challenging thing for me was just more. I guess it really wasn't like mentally challenging. It pushed me to my physical limits because I am out of shape, which is a good thing, and my body appreciates it. You know what I mean? So the more I get past the mental part of, I see the workout, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be a crazy day.
Yep.
Once you push past that mental part and get in there and get around so many positive people that are all with the same goal of not just, sweating, but also living a healthier lifestyle, it's worth it. So
It's good to hear. So if you had to compare like the stuff that you did in class to the food outside, what was the hardest part in that aspect?
on the days when I did eat things I shouldn't be eating, I can feel the difference. I can feel the body bloat, the lethargic feeling, the tired, or even with like eating certain like chips or something, it tricks your mind into you're never full. Where if you eat the right amount of protein, of healthy protein, you're going to be full. You're going to feel that fullness and know that you ate something sustainable. But like chips or, whatever it may be, popcorn or all this stuff, you can just eat because it tricks your mind into wanting more. It's like that Lay's commercial, you just can't eat one. They weren't lying, they were telling
No,
you the
they weren't
truth.
lying.
That was bait, that was clickbait, you can't just eat it, it's a fact, but you can feel that difference of eating unhealthy as opposed to when you're eating how you're supposed to eat and working out, your body lets and that's not a comfortable feeling.
100%. What did you find surprising about the class or anything that you did during the 3 months?
I was more surprised about what I could do physically when pushed in the right manner and trained in the right manner. Like I never thought I'd be able to do a wall walk or something like that. I seen the videos. I'm like, man, my body ain't built like that. But I can't fully do a wall walk yet. But my legs are up there, and I'm able to take like 1 or 2 steps. You know what I mean? Whereas when I first came in here, that thought went in crossing my mind. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna be in my workout regimen. So it showed me that when I put my mind to it and when I have the right people around me, that we can do anything. We can do what we put our minds to and what we're equipped to do properly. So it was encouraging to know that, even at the age I'm at, I can still work and put the work in. Sometimes my mind thinks I'm still younger than what I am and I want to push myself too hard. And I did feel a little bit of that through some of the workouts, but overall, the more consistent I get, the more I push, the more my body's able to give me. So
The funny thing is, I just talked to Suzanne, and she said the same thing about wall walk. She said she saw you get up there, and then she wanted to try it.
well, I'm glad I could motivate her because like I told Suzanne, she really motivated me a lot. Helen motivated me, like watching those 2 ladies put that work in and be so diligent and so aggressive with their workout, it set the pace and motivated me to, say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. And I hope we all had that same kind of motivation for each other. And that's one of the good things about, being here for CrossFit is that no matter whether it's the MetFix class or the regular class, it's the same mentality. Everyone's encouraging each other, pushing each other because we know we can do our best and put ourselves to the test. So
Yeah, we tricked you all. We called it MetFix,
I don't know, it's real workouts.
but it was just the same thing as we do with the other classes.
I realized that quickly, and I was thankful. I started a month early, and when we did start the MetFix after it already started a month early, I'm like, this is pretty just as hard as what I've been doing this whole time I came here. I'm like, ain't nothing different. I mean, they may take couple minute more breaks to get some water, but I mean, this the same exact workouts. They just put a new name on it.
That's right. We did. Tricked you. What did you learn about yourself along the way?
That I need to, that what I do put in my body is more important than what I think it is, and that it affects me more than what I would realize, but that I just need to take care of my body. You only get one body, you know what I mean? Like a car, I can go buy a new car if I break it down and don't take care of it, but you only get one body. So it helped me to understand that it's vitally important, not just for the longevity of my life, but for the overall sustainability and health of my life to be mindful of what I am putting into it, how I am taking care of it. Because, like I said, you only get one. Treat it with respect, treat it with, how you would treat anything. You want to take care of it, right? So we got to take care of our bodies.
100%. How about any of the results that you saw Were any of those something that you didn't define at the beginning of the 3 months? Like, was there any outcomes that you got out of the program that you're like, holy shit, I would have never thought that this would have happened?
Yeah, it reminds me of a story. uh, this had to been maybe about 2, 3 weeks ago. I had just finished a workout and I got home. My wife and kids were home. I think my wife and daughter were in the kitchen, and I was walking through the house. I was sweaty, dripping in sweat. So I took my shirt off, took my wife beater off, and I was walking through the house trying to find, get a snack or something. And my wife's like, "Face me." I was like, "Why?" So I faced her. And her and my daughter are looking. My daughter's like, "Are those abs?" I was like, I guess so. I looked down. My wife's like, "You're getting abs. I can start seeing abs on you. You're getting a little 6'8" pack." I was like, she never tell me that the rest of her life. I walked around my shirt off all day, swole up. But it was just something I didn't even notice or think would, at the shape I'm at, the age I'm at, here I am cutting abs. You know what I mean? So it caught them by surprise. Like, put a shirt on now. I'm like, nah, no, you done started something now. But it was a good motivation to know that the work that I am putting in is not only helping me mentally and health-wise, but it's doing a physical change, and it's just the small things that we don't notice, what I mean, unless someone else sees it and you're like, I didn't never notice I had abs, but
Yeah.
but here we go.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, if you don't see somebody for a couple of weeks, like when we had the baby and we came back, like there's so many members that if I was here every day, you would notice the changes because they're so small from day to day, and you're just constantly seeing people. But we came back and it's like, holy shit, there's people that look completely different in the 3 weeks that we were in the gym. That
Oh yeah.
it's insane. So that's cool to hear. How has the program impacted you?
Oh, program impacted me greatly. I mean, like I said, not only is it helping me to get on a better intake path of what I'm putting into my body, it's giving me better output of how I'm performing, how I'm able to have more energy, more active with my family and kids, and just overall, like my lungs feel healthier, and I'm able to get my body in that shape of where it's supposed to be. But I just look forward to being able to continue it, and just have a place to where I can come and get good coaching and good vibes, good feels from, to know that it's not just a competition, but it's like a family.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody's here for the same reason. We're trying to get better, and even if you're your first day and somebody else's 12th year, like Sal, it's like they want you to do just as good as they are. You're dying right next to them. You're doing a different version of the workout. What's your sleep look like now compared to 3 months ago?
I'm definitely sleeping better. I do have my moments where I do wake up through the night, but I replace those nights of when I do wake up of drinking orange juice or something. I drink water. I'll put a glass of water at the nightstand and I'll drink water instead. But I sleep more soundly through the night. I get a better quality of sleep when I wake up. I'm more awake and alert. So that's a good thing, and my daily habit of waking up is more consistent now. Like, I don't sleep as long as I used to. Like, I'm up pretty much earlier. The dog plays a lot of role in that too sometimes, but I'm up a pretty consistent time early in the morning, ready and get my protein shake in.
At the beginning, you told me that you were waking up 2 or 3 times a night, every night, and you thought you were sleeping about 7 hours a night. Has any of that improved at all?
Oh yeah, at the most I might wake up once, but it's not every night. It usually depends on how my day went that day, but on average it's not like it was to where I'm like constantly waking up, up. And that's more of because my sugar levels are down. Because when my sugar level's high, when someone's sugar's high, it makes your bladder feel like you have to go to the bathroom a lot throughout the night, So with my sugar being down, I don't have that urge, that feeling as much anymore. So, which is a good thing, So I am sleeping way sounder and more smoother, and So
I love it.
it's a good thing.
What are your eating habits look like now compared to 3 months ago? Like at the beginning, one of the things that you said you're eating uh, 2 pieces of toast and 3 eggs for breakfast. You're having soda 2 or 3 times a month. What any of those things improved, or anything else you improved with your food that we haven't already talked about?
Eating wise, I cut out a lot of the sugariness that I had ate before. Not all of it, but there's a lot of times where the wife and kids want to go get ice cream and do all this stuff, and I pass it up, and I've replaced a lot of my unhealthy snacks with maybe like a beef stick or protein shake in different sorts. And most mornings, it's only a protein shake because most mornings I'm in here working out. So, and I don't like to work out on a full stomach. That's the worst thing ever. So it's usually for me, it's a protein shake in the morning, and like either like a wrap or chicken for lunch, and then, I eat HelloFresh, which is a great thing because it's already pre-portioned for you. I ain't got to worry about overeating or putting nothing processed in because it's pretty much all natural stuff. So I eat HelloFresh for dinner and it works out great. Like last night, we did a HelloFresh meal, which was like, it was almost like a chicken, it's like an Italian chicken cheesesteak almost, but I didn't put mine on the hoagie like our family did. I just did mine with the sauteed chicken and the onions and peppers. I ate it like that with a couple of potatoes on the side that I did in the oven. So, I substituted, and, even though on some meals when we do eat things that may have a lot of carbs, I remove the carbs or I substitute the carbs. And that's something I learned from coming here and, knowing how and when to eat certain things and how to replace them to get that same fullness. And I was just as full as they were, and I didn't have that big hoagie bun and all that extra stuff that they had. So it was
Now
good.
you got to work on them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I told my wife that there's gonna be a Netflix 2 coming out soon.
Yep.
So I already got it in her mind. So well, I can't come in 11 o'clock every day. I was like, oh, don't worry. Brett said on the new one, you could come in at any class. So there's no excuse,
That's
right?
great.
So I already gave her a little preview,
All right.
coming soon to a
love
gym near you, Netflix 2. The
Yeah,
next
well,
season.
We need to. How has your exercise habits changed over the last 3 months? Like, what were you doing before you came in here, and then now? Like, what are you doing?
Before I came in, I was bare to minimal exercises. Like if I was at like coaching a sport or something, that'd be about the most exercise I got. But now I'm in, for this, I was in here 4 days a week. Now that it's over, I'm still trying to come in 2, 3 days a week to keep on a regular habit of exercising. And I've even got my wife and kids, like I would go home and tell them what I did and show them what I did at home. And then I would trick my kids into doing it too. But I bet y'all can't do what I did. And then they be in there because I got a bike at home and stuff too, and a couple of weights at home. So they be in there trying to get their calories on the bike in a certain amount of time. I'll be like, well, I burnt 26 calories in like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. And they're like, oh, I can do that. Try it. And then, you got your 11-year-old about to die.
Yep.
So it's a good way to, get the family engaged and make it a family activity. And, I show my wife some of the stretches like Spider-Man lunges and things like that to get, try and ease her in and get her in, So it impacts me here, but also at home, and I can engage the family as well. So.
I love it. That's what it's all about, man.
Oh yeah.
How, before you came into this class, did you know anybody at the 11 a.m. class?
At the 11 a.m., I'm trying to think of who was here at 11 a.m.
Ellen, Suzanne, Carol.
Oh, you mean for the Memphis class?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know nobody.
How did you guys form bonds, or did you form any bonds during the 3-month period, or even like the first week that you wouldn't have expected?
Well, I had met Helen loosely from coming to the 10 a.m. class. I had seen her a few here and there, but overall, throughout the whole 11 a.m. class, we created a bond. We were like, we knew each other, like the things that were going on in our lives. And, we were from talking and working out and sweating and going through the pain and glory of CrossFit together. You create connections. And like I said, it's like a family, that we encouraged each other. We pushed each other, we were like, hey, where were you at yesterday? Everything okay? And, you could tell each of us cared about each other, not just of working out, but also make sure that we were doing okay, like with Helen and her shoulder and different things to make sure that, everybody was good, We started out with big numbers, and, a couple people dwindled off here and there, but, the core of us who were here the whole time, we cared about each other, how we were doing, and how our lives were.
Yeah, two of those people had like medical issues where they had to
Yeah.
stop, but uh, yeah, 5 out of 8 at the end of the 3 months. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good put out.
After the first week, if we would have had 4, I'd have been happy. But 5 of you stuck it out for 3 months, and those other 2, I think, they were here for about a month and a half. If I had to guess. So.
Yeah, Stephen, that gallbladder, I had one guy with me, and then that gallbladder got him.
I know. It's insane. Have you seen any health marker improvements other than your sugar score? Do you know?
I don't know the overall change. I do know I did have blood work done for my doctor, and he said everything looked good. He had no concerns. Speaking of that, he said my magnesium was up, which is good, because normally my magnesium is down, and I have to take a prescription for my magnesium, like a magnesium supplement, and I haven't taken that magnesium supplement in months. I'm like, it's been a while. It's been forever since I took that. I can't remember last time I took it, but I went and got that blood work done. He's like, oh, you still taking the supplements? I was like, no. He's like, oh, well, your magnesium's up. He's like, it's just doing good. Whatever you're doing, keep up doing what you're doing. I was like, I'm doing CrossFit. I'm eating healthier. I'm eating better protein, healthier protein. And, and it is boosting my natural levels, because when you eat the right stuff, it's going to give your body the right, minerals, nutrients, vitamins that it needs. So you won't need the supplements, and you won't need the prescriptions, because your body is producing what it needs to produce, because you're eating what it needs, so
100%.
so that's the one thing that I knew I do notice, and did notice for sure, was that. But he said all my other blood work looked good, everything was where it needed to be, and they had no concerns. Like, I'll see you next year. When they say I'll see you next year, it's always a good thing.
Is there anything else that you would want to add that I didn't ask you or anything?
If I had to add one thing, it would be, I've done workout programs before in years past. I'm an old guy. So, I've done things like, Herbalife fit camps, boot camps, and all that stuff. And I would say that, or even had gym memberships at different places. Being here at CrossFit, it's a whole different thing, because it's not just about pushing heavy weights or just getting through the workout. Our coaches, all of you guys, you're knowledgeable about what you're doing. And I was just, I can't think who I was telling. I think I was telling Stella or Sarah that it's crazy to, because I did sports growing up. I coached sports. My kids are in sports. But even in the school system of athletics, coaches and weight trainers, they don't show you the proper techniques on lifting and doing these workouts, the proper stretches. And that's why you see a lot of injuries with kids with ACLs and meniscuses, because they're not working out and doing what they need to properly. And coming in here, I thought I knew how to do a squat, but first couple of days in, my coach Kristen, she was like, hey, take the weights off, just do the bar, because your form's not there. So it wasn't just about pushing heavy weights, hitting those maxes. It was about making sure that your foundation is strong, make sure your form is perfect. It was an overall working out, and to make sure that your heels are planted, your knees are right, your arms are right, your butt's out, your back's down, your chest is up. All these core things of working out that you're supposed to do properly, that helps prevent these muscle strains, these, ligament tears and all this stuff. And it comes from good coaching that you guys do. You guys put people in the position of coaches that you take them through training. They go to classes, they go to courses. They're not just in here just trying, like I said, trying to make you push heavy weight, trying to make you sweat, work you hard for an hour. They're concerned about overall. And that's the difference between CrossFit and I think anything else, is the knowledge base that the coaching staff has, and that there's levels of difficulty. If you can't hit the actual workout, there's different modifications you can do that still gives you that same workout until you can build yourself up. Not only are you able to build up in weight, but you're able to build up from just doing elevated walking burpees to be able to do a full burpee, or if you're just doing the bar on your squat lunges, pretty soon you'll be able to add more and more weight, and they watch and they study your form, and then when they feel like your form is good, your foundation's good, then they'll let you move it to the next level. It's not about just speeding you through, getting the money or whatever. It's about making sure that you're going to be able to sustain what you're doing over a longevity time, and you're not going to get hurt. And that's one of the things I really appreciate, and gives me confidence to know that I'm going in here and that they're not just going to throw me something crazy. Whether I get hurt, I get hurt. No, they're going to make sure that I'm safe in what I'm doing. I'm doing it right, and then I'm getting a good workout. So that would be the one thing I would have to add, and that's just kudos to you guys as owners and leaders to making sure that your core around you guys are all at the level you want them to be, so that way they can help us aspire to that level. So thank you.
That means a lot. It does. We put a lot of effort into developing the coaches and making sure that they're staying up to our sometimes hard to attain expectations, but I know that they all do a good job, and we're confident with them all, and it means a lot to hear that.
Oh, it's real, like seeing, and it's good that the coaches work out with you. Like they're not just at their class teaching or training, they're at other classes putting in the work as well. Like I was in here one day and I seen Stella over there, and she was doing some kind of, thing on the floor, and I asked her, I said, Stella, what are you doing? She said, well, I'm working on my arm strength so I can be able to finally do a pull-up. And she's a coach.
Yep.
And she was in here pushing herself to get to the point to where she can do a pull-up like she wants to do a pull-up. And it goes to show you that, not only are they trying to develop us, but they're still developing well, or developing themselves, to do well and do better. And it's a motivation to see, hey, they're not, these workout gods to where, they're perfect, to do all these workouts perfect. They're still learning, they're still developing, they're still growing. And it motivates us to know that, hey, if they can still do that, we can still do that too. And it's a good motivational see here, just to know that, they struggle just like the average person struggles.
100%.
They still put in the work like we put in the work, so it's a good motivation.
Yeah, the only thing that I wanted to say is just thanks for letting us help. You guys didn't know us when you came in here. You were taking a shot, people you didn't know, and letting us document the whole process. I think that's the biggest satisfaction for me, is watching the progress from day one until where you guys are at now. All of you have made tremendous improvements, and if you wouldn't have taken a shot on us, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So thank you very much.
I'm thankful for the opportunity, because now I'm gonna be in here. You're gonna see more progress. I mean, I'm gonna bring all kinds of people in here. So, because I'm always telling people about CrossFit, I'm like, come in with me one day. Come in with me. We'll see. So I may show up to classes with random people with me. So hope y'all don't mind, but I'm gonna get them in the door.
That free trial link.
Oh yeah. So it's a great honor to have this opportunity, because like I told you before, if it wasn't for that opportunity of the class, I probably never came in CrossFit.
Yep.
Because I always, seen it and seen people doing it. I'm like, that's intense. I can't do that no more. But here I am.
Yep.
People be surprised, like, you doing CrossFit? I was like, yeah. He's like, what? They'd be so surprised. Like, yeah, bro, come on in here. It's not what you think it is. They think that all like aerobics and cardio? Nah, bro, it's a whole nother level. They work you out. You getting some good work, trust me. So, yeah, hey, it's a testament.